We are ready to rock and roll from Lynchburg, Virginia. Liberty University is the location, and our first race of the day is about to get underway. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Hutzler, the voice of the Hornets. Happy to have you along for the ride today as we bring you a large meet this afternoon. Southern Virginia, Wesleyan, Sweet Briar, and Lynchburg, just to name a few, will be the teams competing this morning / this afternoon. And we begin with a 4x100 medley event, heat number 1 for the ladies. Sarah Austin, Macy Waite, Kirsten Lee, Nora Florio, Alyssa Reed, and Carly Tantlinger are in the pool through lanes 3 through 8. Alyssa Reed out front for the Hornets. Way out front for Lynchburg. Again, they're 25-yard lengths of the pool. And we have a swimmer who thought that 2 lengths was 100 instead of 50. Reed still out front in lane 7. And so in for the breaststroke now. Lynchburg out front, still waiting on a heat sheet, so I apologize. It's Claire Galloway. Jessie Lee, Emma Merrill, Kara Young. Claire Galloway, as mentioned. On the second leg of this 4x100. Second home meet for Lynchburg. They beat Bridgewater and lost to Mary Washington in their first go-around a couple weeks ago. Galloway actually helped Lynchburg win this first event. And if nothing changes, Lynchburg is going to win by a lot. Galloway finishes with a time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Virginia Wesleyan in second place right now. Kara Young finishing up. Good time there from Corinne Ford. 2:38.47 total time for Lynchburg. 16:44 on that 50. Now I got a heat sheet in my hand, so I feel much more comfortable. And hopefully that means you will as well. Virginia Wesleyan, Lizzie Ross in second place for the Marlins. Southern Virginia, led by Emmy Waite right now in third. And just getting into the pool, the last stretch here for Lynchburg, it's Caitlin Freese with the freestyle. Freese 12.8 in her first 25. Lynchburg's second group is in fourth. No question about who the winner will be, which team the winner will come from. Now it's a matter of looking at times. It's a Lynchburg team that continues to break records. Of course, they haven't had a competitive season at the varsity level since the late 70s. As Freese comes in and touches the wall, 4:14.59. That is your final time overall for Lynchburg. Second place, Virginia Wesleyan, Chloe Dewberry, 4:22:46 for the team. But nothing official except for that Lynchburg time. And now the Marlins come in second. 4:38:67, your final time for the Marlins in second place. Southern Virginia in lane 4. And she gets there. No, Hannah Hale, terrific push at the end. Lynchburg will take third place overall with Hale's great finish in the freestyle. Ellie Berge and Southern Virginia in fourth. And right now it looks like Lauren Jones is going to finish it up for Sweet Briar College in that fifth spot. And then Virginia Wesleyan will come in at the sixth place. You can see it there in the top right of your screen, your results. Lynchburg 1, Virginia Wesleyan 2, Lynchburg's second team in third place, followed by Southern Virginia in fourth, Sweet Briar in fifth, and the second Virginia Wesleyan squad finishes up with a time of 5:58.13. And there's a look at Caitlin Freese, the final leg for the Hornets, as they start the day well with a victory in the 4x100-yard medley relay. And an excellent finish from that Lynchburg B team in come-behind fashion. Now it's time for the men to hit the pool. Lanes 3 through 8 again. Lynchburg's A team in the third lane. Southern Virginia's A team in the fourth. Hampden-Sydney in lanes 5 and 6. And then Virginia Wesleyan's A in seventh. Lynchburg's B team in lane 8. I forgot about Hampden-Sydney. They are only here, of course, for the men. So Southern Virginia, Virginia Wesleyan, Sweet Briar College, Hampden-Sydney, and Lynchburg out there this morning into this afternoon. Got to watch Kanan Monteith here in lane 3. High up on the blocks and into the pool first. Kevin Bennett on the outside lane for Lynchburg, the inside for you watching in lane 8. Didn't pick up the split times there, but everyone close to that 16-second mark. 3 out front, Monteith, Bennett, and Hampden-Sydney's Zach Steffen is first through 50 yards. Steffen there in lane 5. And another turn, 45 seconds has gone by. You'll have Mason Swanner, Dane Warner, and Zach Bennett coming in now. Lynchburg, Kanan Monteith, an excellent last leg and turn. 29:49 was his final time, and he pushed there at the end on that last leg for Lynchburg's lead after the first set of swimmers. Swanner keeps the lead for Lynchburg on the breaststroke, and now the Hornets pulling away. Check out Mason Swanner. Excellent turn after 50 yards. Second place, also Lynchburg. Zach Bennett racing for them right now. Kyle Wolf of Virginia Wesleyan touches the pad, and Virginia Wesleyan now in third. Swanner keeping Lynchburg ahead with that 46.55 breaststroke. Now Jason Weed in the pool for the Hornets. Lynchburg's B team in second place. And Hampden-Sydney's Dane Warner does an excellent job fighting back and putting the Tigers back in third. "50 yards gone by here for Lynchburg in lane 3. Well out front here in the second event of today's meet. Jackson Boyles turns in a time of 27.69. Hampden-Sydney in lane 5 and 6. They're battling right now for 4th and 5th place. It's Lynchburg in 1 and 2. And here's Chris Jennings into the pool for the Hornets. We'll hear from Chris Jennings in a few minutes, actually. He's going to step on to the platform and put on a headset, talk about what he's enjoyed most in the first season of varsity Lynchburg swimming in a long, long time. He's also a men's lacrosse player, so he's been a busy guy this semester. He touches the wall, 23.83 through 50 yards. Lynchburg well out in front. They're going to get first. Now it's a great battle for second place. Check out lanes 8 and 7. Touching the wall, it is Virginia Wesleyan. Max Currens getting there before Kellen Campbell. Closest lanes to you. That's what we got to pay attention to. Last leg here, 25 yards to go. Currens and Campbell. Marlins and Hornets. Campbell pulling away. Kellen Campbell at the wall. And it's Lynchburg 1 and 2. Virginia Wesleyan at third. Hampden-Sydney 4th and 5th. And then Southern Virginia finishes us out here in the men's 4x100 medley relay. There's Jennings as he helped Lynchburg's A team to a time of 3:48.91. The B team in second place, 3:59.91. And Virginia Wesleyan on the podium, if you will, with that 4-minute .61 third place finish. What a great start, especially for the home team. That's Lynchburg today, of course. An excellent finish between Campbell and Currens. And now we begin the 1,000-yard freestyle for the women and the men. We'll have one heat each. And we will also be joined by Coach Brad Dunn during this time. +40 laps. We've got a little bit of a break here as they try to confirm the racers that are going to be on the blocks here. According to the sheet that I have, should be Taylor Morich, Dharma Keir, Molly Shand, Emma Grace Spake. I'll ask Coach about that one. Macy Waite and Nora Florio. Virginia Wesleyan, lanes 3 through 8, Virginia Wesleyan, Sweet Briar, Lynchburg, Southern Virginia, and Sweet Briar. According to the seed times, Molly Shand has the fastest time of 11:42.49 this season. Emma Grace with that 12:19.60 in second place. And then it gets pretty tight for third. Dharma Keir, 13:37, and Macy Waite, 13:46 for the Vixens and the Knights. So according to seed times, a good battle will be watching lanes 4 and 7. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's a very busy day on the Lynchburg schedule and scoreboard, and a busy day for us on LHSN. After we're done here, we'll have to sprint back to campus and check out Lynchburg field hockey as they battle for an ODAC championship tonight against Shenandoah at 6 p.m. There's members of the field hockey team supporting Lynchburg swimming on their Code Red meet. Code Red buddies. And as I mentioned before, Lynchburg and Shenandoah for the second straight year. Field hockey championship tonight, 6 p.m. from Schellenberger Field on LHSN. And some more great attendance by Lynchburg softball. Checking out the action today for Lynchburg's Code Red meet. Great support from fellow athletes. And looking around, trying to find some of the officials to see what may be the case, and they're looking at heat sheets here on the table next to us with the official score. There's some laughter, so I think we're okay. You're looking now at Nora Florio from Sweet Briar. There are our officials for today's meet. I think we're ready to go. So we'll get this thing started. We'll hook up Coach Dunn with a mic, and we'll be back with some chatter between myself and him. Enjoy the sounds of the 1,000-yard freestyle for the ladies as we get Coach Dunn hooked up. Back in a moment. 11 lengths left for most in this 1,000 freestyle for the females. And I'm joined now by Director of Swimming at University of Lynchburg, Brad Dunn. Coach Dunn, you got to be happy with how things have started so far.
Oh man, this has been a blast, right? A few hiccups in that first meet that we did together, and but that was going to be part of it. We knew it. I had a great swim that night, that Friday night in October, and now here we are hosting our second meet, and boy, we came out of the gates fast. Anyway, that was fun.
That was very fun.
Women's relay swam really well. Great splits for our women there, and then men had great splits on our A relay and a great race with our B relay coming in there, and that's something that our guys haven't really had yet. Had some people to push them, and great teams here joining us today to really push our guys and have some good racing here as we're about 9 weeks into our season.
Well, that's what I was going to get to next, was related to the 9 weeks in. Obviously, we talked last time about what expectations would be, and it was still early. Now that we've gotten pretty much through the halfway of the season, what have you enjoyed the most, and what's still there to improve on?
I think that the biggest thing is that, we get on the bus, we get off the bus, we're at the pool, we're out of the pool, and our team is all together. They're going to dinner together, they're going to weights together, they're showing up in groups, and they're having a blast. It's tiring. We're all pretty beat down right now and tired at this point of the year, and they're excited. They're up cheering with each other. We've got great energy on deck before the meet starts, and building team. And that's I talked about it last time, and that's what we emphasize so much, and building culture, and that's a big part of it. And when we look at what's to come, we've got a good chance here in a couple of weeks that we're going to the Randolph-Macon Invitational over in Richmond, and it'll be a great format where we're going to rest a little bit for that meet and wear old tech suits. And the swimming world is going to know that it's kind of we're going in for season best, not necessarily a lifetime best yet, but it'll be a barometer to see where we're at and to see where our swimmers are, and great competition, really fast teams at that meet. And I think that the swimmers are going to surprise themselves a little bit. The coaches, we have a lot of things that we're looking forward to seeing, and that's when the swimming part's going to kick in and start to get really serious about what we can do in the pool.
Well, today's a big day for you all, as it always is, of course, when you're home, but it's also Code Red meet, which some people may not know what that means, but it is a chance, obviously, to bring more people to the pool, supporting you in red. Of course, some of them, their red is covered up by coats and jackets.
It's pretty cold
it's cold
there,
outside. Yeah. But what's it like for you to see the support from softball and field hockey who are here today, especially knowing that field hockey has a big game for them tonight, but they still made the time to come see you all?
That's amazing. Right? You asked me, I think, on the last broadcast about what makes Lynchburg so special to me, and what I talk about with our swimmers. It's our field hockey team is tremendous, and they're playing a championship game tonight, and they're excited to come out here and to watch us swim, and that's awesome. And we love that support. You better believe we're going to be there loud and proud tonight at that field hockey game with a lot of the rest of the Lynchburg community. Softball's down there. We're right next to them in their offices, good friends with those coaches especially, and they're excited to be here. They don't know much about swimming, they said, but they'll figure it out. Unfortunately, these long events that I love are here at the beginning, and I'm sure they can see us swimming really well, and we'll pick things up with some faster events here after these are done. But it's awesome, and I think you got to note too, I don't know if you knew this, but we've got our cross-country team and some track runners down here.
That's right.
As our timers. And that's awesome. They're back here. We trust them a lot with the stopwatch. They get this world. And it's cool to have so many of them here. The athletic director, John Waters, is up there supporting us. A lot of our parents here. And Code Red, like you mentioned, is a chance for us to highlight kind of our marquee matchup at home this year. And for all these teams to take time out of their Saturday morning to come out and support us is awesome.
Let's stay on that line of support, talking about some of the support that's come from off campus. Obviously, it's been a long time since swimming has been a varsity sport at Lynchburg, mid to late 70s, last time it competed at this level. Has it been something that surprised you in terms of, those alums, if you will, checking you guys out, trying to stay involved, trying to be around? What's that support been like from people who have been absent from it for a long time in relation to Lynchburg swimming?
Yeah, it's hard to say that it's surprising, because from the moment you get on campus and you realize how connected everybody is here, I think it shows through when talking to some alums and getting emails, and from people that I've never talked to that are emailing saying, "Hey, we watched the broadcast. That was awesome." And I appreciate anybody that's watching it right now or watches a replay of this, that that they show they just show that they care, and they care about this group of men and women that are here back to rebuild this program, and year one right now, making a big statement and continuing to grow. But it's really fun to see and to talk. I know that we had Henry Mearswood being our official at the last meet. I think we talked a little bit about him being an All-American in 1972 for Lynchburg College swimming back then. And just staying connected and realizing that we still do have some of those pieces of our past. And it's a good lesson for our swimmers too, that we talk a lot about what they go on to do, and staying connected as a family, and saying that, hey, when you are 40, 50, 60, 70 in some case with some of these alum, you're still going to have a vested interest, and you can really look back and be a part of this and what you created.
Let's talk about what's going on right now. We've got 21 links, it looks like, for our leader.
So we've got our leaders at 31.
Oh, 31, beg your pardon.
They're switching aside. So, so
go.
Molly's out there leading. Having a tremendous swim right now. She's one that she did this early in the season for us, and she's a good distance swimmer. But I swam distance, and one of the toughest things was getting thrown in these events every single meet. So Molly and Emma Grace are out here. We mix it up with them. They don't swim this every meet, and this is a really good chance for Molly to have another solid swim in here in the mid-season before we go to our rested meet. And she's out there. I think for you learning the sport, we're looking at being very consistent with their 50 splits, which is that time that's popping up on the board. She's been right in there at 35s, having a great swim. And Emma Grace as well, she's out there, I think, flipping at 37s. 37.0 on that one. So she's, that's an easy thing for me to be up here talking with you, but keeping an eye on what these splits are.
Well, I'm glad it is for you, because it's definitely not an easy thing for me. Let's think about, obviously, those expectations you talked about earlier. When you look at the team's success and those records being broken and everybody's times getting better with each and every meet, every practice, honestly, is it a surprise? What kind of thought process do you have at this point? Is this where you expected your team to be, or are they a little bit ahead than what you may have thought?
We're ahead of where I thought we would be. And I wanted to be very measured with my expectations with what we're doing in the water. But I think the biggest part with it is that this is different. This is a different training regimen. This is a different training style than anybody's used to. I think the head coach here at Liberty, Jake Schellenberger, had a great quote. He's talking to me. There's the top 25 teams in the country are all doing different things. There's 25 different programs that work, and I think that there's hundreds of different programs that work, and there's no one right way to do it. But the challenge with that is getting your swimmers to buy into what you're doing, and that was the biggest thing, was that from the moment that everybody got in here, everybody is bought in, and we do our best to explain what we're doing and explain to them why we're doing these things, but they're bought in. They're believing in the way that we're training, the way that my coaching staff has us working on the day-to-day, and that's the biggest key to success. And that's why we're swimming well, and boy, I'm excited to see this coming up. And with Molly, we were looking to be under 11:42. That was what she went at the first meet. That's been her best time in the 1,000, and we're looking here. She's got 12 seconds to get to the wall.
Think she's going to make it, yeah.
I think so. And having a really solid swim for her. It'd be exciting for her to get in here with their first individual win of the day. Boom, right in there. 11:40, so 2 seconds faster. Getting better, getting faster. So very, very excited about that, and get Emma Grace in here for a second place finish.
Yeah, so far, great start for obviously men and women on your side. Individually, are there any swimmers that you can point out today as saying, wow, they've come a long way since that meet at Randolph?
Yeah, I think that the biggest ones to point out are ones that have really buckled down the most and embraced a much tougher training regimen. The ones that were coming in that maybe had only swam high school, or people that had just kind of swam recreationally along the way. And they said, you know what, I want to be a college athlete. I want to make that dedication. I want to make that big step. And so I think a couple of them to really point out. Brandon Godden is a guy that has come a long way from barely being able to finish 100 to he's swimming the 100 fly today. He's swimming 100 butterfly, and I don't think he could have done a 50 legally last year when he was swimming club with us very well. And he's up here just working so hard to be a part of this group. And We look at too. Hayden Updike is one that's a great part of our community. She's swimming the 200 breaststroke today, going for a great swim. I think Jessie Lee is another one, and Chris Richardson are the ones that really come to mind. That it's been really challenging for them because it is a tremendous increase in volume and yardage and training, and they've embraced it and they've put in a lot of work to get to where they are.
It's always really nice to see those that were a part of the club program. Not some people may think they're not ready for the varsity level, but they come in and like you said, they're bought in. They liked what they saw last year, the times that you coached them, and obviously thought it was worth swimming at the varsity level. And I love to hear that especially Brandon and Hayden have produced and progressed in their individual abilities.
Yeah, and I think it starts there, and part of that is just all the way up with some of our most talented swimmers and the ones that are up there to win events, and they come in first and they lead off those A relays and do that stuff. They're buying in and they're setting the example, and everybody is following suit. And we have a lot of fun. So we work hard, but we have a lot of fun at practice. I know you've been out a couple of times, and we get the playlist going, all types of genres, a lot of oldies, a lot of classic rock, but we'll touch into some country that gets controversial every once in a while. Some people love it, some people don't love country music.
Yeah, there aren't too many people that are midway on country. That's true. But speaking of that playlist, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe I guess a couple months ago now, you mentioned you were trying to fit a song in as many times before people would notice it. I think it was the Earth, Wind, and Fire
September
song. Yeah, how many times did you play it before people?
We played it 8 times in a row. We were going to try to
in a row.
We were trying to go over 20, but it ended up being that was too much. It was Parents' Weekend, so the parents are up in the stands watching practice, going, "What in the world?"
Oh my gosh!
So
it's on skip. It just keeps playing.
Yeah. So we embraced it, and we play it during warm-ups a lot, and everybody it kind of takes the mood down. And everybody can relax a little bit, and laugh and thinking about that. And I do fun stuff like that. It's a tough sport, and it's tough to love on the day-to-day. So you've got to throw some creative stuff in there like that.
It's long too. It's certainly not a sport that is 2 or 3, 2 months or so. It's certainly a marathon of a season for you guys. You start, in September and you roll into, the winter season, traditional winter season there in February and March. So great to hear the progress that you have seen has been good, has been positive, and more positives on the board. Lynchburg 1 and 2, and followed by Southern Virginia and Sweet Briar in 3rd and 4th place. And then Virginia Wesleyan and Sweet Briar again. As you take a look at the scoreboard, whenever it populates.
There it is.
There it is. So there's your finish and your times. Your thoughts on your team's times. Obviously, you talked about Molly and her time. You like that time from her.
Yeah.
What about Emma Grace?
Great swim for her. She's one that is getting. They're walking by us right now. What a great swim.
They look more nervous than you do. They're not even on the mic.
They're a little tired, Joe. You want to go out there and swim for 12 minutes straight?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Let's get these guys started. A great swim for Emma Grace, to go back to it. She's one that hadn't swam a whole lot of distance and is kind of coming into that as an event that she wants to look into and think about swimming the mile at conference and thinking about swimming the 500 as well. And she kind of came in a little bit more as a mid-distance and butterfly swimmer, and now she's there and swimming great with us in the distance events. I hope that her family's watching down in South Carolina. They're down there in the Charleston area. Hopefully it's warmer down there. It's in the 20s up here. I know that was her big concern when we were recruiting her. I said, it's not academics. It's not the swimming part. It's what it was. Is it going to get too cold? But I think I convinced her that she can get a new wardrobe of warm winter gear.
Oh, we've got plenty of gear.
And she's just been a fantastic leader in our freshman group. And those distance swimmers, they're a tough bunch. So they're fun to coach and fun to work with.
I was very happy to realize this morning when I woke up that I'd be inside for the first part of the day.
You're going to have a chilly night tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, tonight's going to be definitely hand warmers in my shoes, in my gloves, all that stuff. But 21 degrees this morning, that's a little more than I was ready for.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're moving in here too. Not to seal your play-by-play. We're moving into the men's event here, and I think it's fun to note. And I wanted to throw out there that in lane 2 we've got Matt Fields from us, and he's a no-timer in this event. It's the first time that he's swimming it, and he came to me this week, and he typically sprints for us. Sometimes swims a little bit of butterfly. but he wanted to swim this event because his grandparents are coming this weekend, and he wanted to swim. He wanted to be in the pool for a little bit longer, so he wanted to do a distance event so that he could swim longer in front of his grandparents. I thought that was pretty good.
That's a fantastic reason.
And we have the confidence in him to have a great swim as well. So he's out there, looking really strong right now, and interested to see what he does. No pressure on him, nothing, no expectation. Just let him go out and swim really well.
On the flip side of that, you have Spencer swam in the pool as well. Talk about his progress in this event this season.
Yeah, and this has been one where we knew that he would want to tap into a lot of these distance events early on, coming from the cross-country team last year and stepping more into our swimming world. I think that was a big reason why we got these guys to come in time today, is they wanted to come and see Spencer and Jackson Boyles, another guy in our team, get involved and watch them in the water and not just running across the country, right?
Across the country, right.
And not, in a little different realm. And so working into this, but he's just gotten a lot stronger too. He's gotten powerful in the water. He's gotten really strong in the water. And it's pretty cool to see him come into this event and become a good distance swimmer, but also getting faster in the sprint and mid-distance events.
So still early, obviously, in this event. I know we talked about it last time, and I think it's still worth bringing up when you talk about this specific event. You mentioned to the point where, when you swam it, people would go get popcorn, and nobody really watched you.
Yep.
But obviously, it's a battle within when you're in an event like this. As well. As we take a look, I wanted to make sure we saw this. Jackson is holding the paddle for Mason.
Yeah, he's got the counter up
for
there.
Spencer, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
So the two cross-country guys are helping each other out.
Yep. And that's been a thing. They've had a great time working together, but then also to bringing a little bit of that culture from our cross-country team and that work ethic and bringing it as part of our swim team. So they've been great leaders for us as well. And I hope Jackson's family out there in North Carolina is watching and getting excited about his events a little bit later on. Not swimming the 1,000, but he is in the 500. Swimming a little 200 IM as well. So
it's still longer than I could even think of. So the 500.
I bet we could get you out there, Joe. We could get you into a good swimming event.
You better make sure there's a lifeguard in the pool with me. Let's go back to speaking of mentally, not being able to get through those barriers. What do you do? Obviously, you've got the whole sequence where you need to swim properly, but in your head, how are you getting through the pain of knowing that you still have so many more links to go?
It's different, right? It's very painful when you swim those sprint events and you're just in another energy level, really going, and part of this is setting yourself in that aerobic zone, a little bit lower heart rate, getting more methodical about it. And one of the things that I always did swimming these distance events was counting my strokes every 25. Every length of the pool, I would count my strokes, and I knew that 13 strokes was the number of strokes I had to take. And so that kind of takes your mind off of it. You're counting to 13, and then you're flipping, and you're counting to 13 again. It's not very exciting. But it gets to be very machine-like, and you get into it where you're just very methodically going through the race and staying on rhythm, staying on point. And, I tell our guys, too, that it's going to get to a threshold where it does really hurt. It's going to be painful. Get through that lap, and then your body's going to adjust, and mentally you're going to be ready to go for the next one. So, I talked a lot about that with Molly, Emma Grace, Spencer, and Matt here today about, we were in the middle of training. We had a tough practice last night. We've had a pretty tough week of swimming. In my opinion, probably our toughest week of practice yet. And so, mentally, how are you going to adjust to that? Because, all these other teams that are here are as well. We're all kind of at the end of our fall training season, getting ready to rest up and get ready for a mid-season meet. And we're all in a tough spot, so we know that they're hurting as well. We know that we're hurting, but push through that. Get to the wall first. Get through that event. And Matt's out here. I mean, he's having a heck of a swim right now. This is awesome.
In second place right now.
Yeah.
5:34.12.
Yep.
On the board.
Yep. So he's right here at the halfway mark. So that's at the 500. So I mean, a 5:34, 500 to take out the 1,000 for a guy who's a sprinter for us.
Right.
Hey, I'll take it. Right now.
That's fantastic.
He's got a good race with the guy out there swimming. I guess that's in lane 6, I think.
Anthony Vincent from Hampden-Sydney.
Yeah.
And Woody Parsons from Sydney is out front, by the way.
Yeah, and Woody's such a great swimmer and a great distance swimmer, which, especially with looking at other teams, I always appreciate the good distance swimmers that come in here. And Bridgewater had a couple of really good ones at that Friday night meet, and watching the great swimmers of our conference. It's something that it makes the conference more competitive, and to build these things and to have these swimmers out there doing their best. It's exciting to see. So it doesn't have to just just be our guys. And I hope that we have some other families from Virginia Wesleyan, from Southern Virginia, from Hampden-Sydney, and from Sweet Briar. I hope that you all were able to tune in. And we're going to talk a lot about Lynchburg swimmers and a lot about our guys, but we appreciate you all and hope that you get a chance to watch your swimmers and your families as well.
Well, I think it's great, and I certainly want to tip the cap to the crew, video crew as well here today. Josh Conwell directing, Anthony McAvoy on the rolling camera, which is a nice
that's pretty cool
addition up top. And we also have Olivia Herman, who's a softball player, stepping up and helping us out today on those close-up shots. So hope you're enjoying the efforts put in by the students and student athletes alike here on the LHSN crew as well. And we do know, based on numbers, that there are people that will watch later as well. We even have a gentleman in Lodi, California named Eugene. He's checking us out. Just randomly found it and enjoyed it, and hopefully he's tuning in today as well. So hello to Eugene in Lodi.
Yeah. I guess I got to use this opportunity. My parents are sitting there.
Yep.
In Argyle, Texas, drinking coffee, watching it on the big screen. They said they put it up on the TV. So
sweet.
I hope that you got the live stream working, and Mom and Dad sitting back there watching. I don't know about my little brother, but eventually I'm sure he'll catch on, and my sister Betsy as well. I know that they're checking it out and watching. So hey to you guys out there in Texas, and hello to all of our families, the Lynchburg families that are watching and enjoying this. And we've got a great day of swimming. Like I said, we're very broken down, but the way that we attacked last night and the attitude on deck, we're going to see some fast swimming, probably a lot of season bests today. So it's going to keep it going.
I want to go back to the conversation related to this event. Obviously, there's more to it than just getting in the pool for practice. There's a strength and conditioning component as well. What's that regimen like for the distance swimmers compared to the short distance?
For right now, what we're doing, we have everybody doing the same regimen. And what we want is that, in the weight room, we're not in there just to get huge. We're down there to become better athletes. And that's the philosophy that our great strength and conditioning staff has. Coach Smith, Coach Bo, who works with us, Coach Wilson as well. They're down there. I mean, they do a tremendous job. And you look at our team, and you look at, just looking at them, how much more athletic they've gotten in the weight room and how explosive they've gotten in the pool. And yeah, distance swimmers need a little bit different regimen, from some more of these aerobic events. But we need these guys to be utility guys, and we need the women to be utilities as well, where they're going to swim these distance events, but we need them on the relays. We need them in some faster events. We need them to get the gears going and to be explosive and to be powerful. And and I think there's a team element of it as well, where you get in there and you get into the weight room and they're able to communicate a little bit more. You don't get to talk a whole lot underwater. We talk between swims, in between sets.
Right,
but that's another part of the team building. And man, shout out to Coach Bo for bringing the energy. I think he's one of the few men in Lynchburg that drink more coffee than I do.
Yeah, he's always raring to go.
And he brings it. And that's the kids in this team. They appreciate that, and I appreciate it. And we have a good time down there in the mornings. And we just lift 3 mornings a week. We go 7 to 8 a.m. Nothing too crazy, nothing too early, and it's fun. We attack it and get after it down there. So big shout out to those guys. And
you think about the utility piece. Matt Fields still having an excellent swim there in second place. Woody Parsons way out in front at the moment at 9:46.55. Touching the wall there with Spencer Swam. Are these guys looking for, I know Matt's doing this for the first time, but is there a threshold? Is there a goal for them?
The biggest goal that I talk about with our distance group is that I want them to be consistent with their pacing. When we go out to these events, we're tired. I get it. We're not going out there to set team records necessarily. We're not going to put that pressure on them in these. We got to be, like I said, with everything, we got to be very measured at the way that we attack these events. And so what I ask them is I want them to swim this race aggressively, to push themselves, but be consistent. And really saw that from Spencer and Matt through most of this race. I'm going to be eager to look down and put it all on paper after we get off the microphone and see exactly how it went and what the variable was from 50 to 50. But that's what I ask them to do. And then you can see Woody finishing strong right here. Matt's kicking into gear. Find that moment with a 50 to go, with 75 to go, and let's empty the tank. Let's see what we got left. And so that's what we're asking our guys to do. And I think they're doing a great job out there. Really racing, really pushing it. And I'm eager to see what our final time comes in to be right here for Matt and Spencer.
Yeah, Woody Parsons with a 10:49.65 in first place. Fields coming in. First time racing the 1,000.
There we go, Matt. So that was just over 11 minutes there. Great swim for our sprinter. Good first time getting some experience with that. We'll get Spencer to finish it up, and these are a lot of fun to see these guys come in and do that. And boy, now we're about to amp it up. So I hope that the field hockey and softball teams didn't get too bored during the distance events, and I hope that you all stayed tuned and are still following along, because now it gets fast. We got the 200 free coming up. We got the hundreds of stroke. We got the 50. So things are going to really get rolling here. I know we talked a little bit about last time. I think I got to ask for everybody, how are we doing on batteries, Joe?
Batteries are great.
There we go.
We brought chargers with us, so we'll plug the cameras in when we need to, and we'll be here all day.
Awesome.
I
knew we'd be fine with that, but we are going to get some other people up here. I know we're going to get Chris Jennings is dying to get on the mic, talk to his family down there in Florida, so he'll do that during the second break. But I can't wait to get our guy Aaron, our assistant coach, is going to get up here during the first break, talk about sprinting and some events. So
great.
Put
Aaron
him on
Green.
the spot.
Okay. So we get to see what he's like on the mic. I'm sure he's really pumped.
Yeah, he's number one swimmer and swim fan, but he's a big basketball fan too. So I know you can kind of segue into our basketball team getting into action this week.
Yeah, men's basketball with a win last night. They got another game today. Women's basketball starts their season tomorrow. So everyone involved, Coach, thanks again for your time. You make this go by a lot faster
this is
than
fun,
it normally would.
I look forward to this. This is a good time. So I appreciate you guys out here. Again, thank you everybody watching, and let's have a good rest of the day.
All right, sir. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Coach Brad Dunn, Director of Swimming at University of Lynchburg, and having a great morning into the afternoon as he's seen a couple victories. And right there, again, Matt Fields with an excellent finish in his first ever 1,000-yard event to give himself some more time in the pool for his grandparents. All right, moving right along, as Coach said, we're not going to waste any time. This is already better than the last meet we had as far as the stoppages between heats and races because of technical problems. So we are in heat 1 of 2 for the women's 200-yard freestyle. Heat 1 does not count towards the points at the end of the meet. So please keep that in mind if you're keeping score at home. Which, if you are, kudos to you. That's fantastic. I can barely keep up, and I'm right here in the building. Skylar Casido from Virginia Wesleyan in lane 4. And then 2 Lynchburg swimmers, Abby Arthur, who's got the first time in at 102.62, followed by Corinne Ford with a 103.43. So it's going to be a Lynchburg battle for first and second in this exhibition. Then we'll have another heat, the finals for this 200-yard freestyle, followed by one heat for the men's 200 and the women's 100 backstroke, men's 100 backstroke, and the women's 100 breaststroke, followed by the men. And that'll finish page 1. Five schools here today: Sweet Briar, Southern Virginia, Virginia Wesleyan, and Lynchburg, all with men's and women's programs. Then, of course, Hampden-Sydney, an all-male institution, only in the men's contests. And for the 4 visitors today, as they touch the wall with Arthur, bringing in a time of 2:09.81, and Corinne Ford 2:08.40. We await the finish of Casido. Back to the point earlier, Lynchburg, the only team today coming off a victory as a unit. They picked up team victories at Emory and Henry, 3-1 in dual meets this season, and 3-0 against conference opponents. Parker Hands had a hand in 3 event victories for the men last time around. We'll see him later on today, including a first place finish in the 400-meter individual medley and 100-meter freestyle. So we'll see him shortly after this final heat of the women's. Stepping up to the blocks, Lauren Jones, Emma Merrill, Kirsten Lee, Leilani Williams, Ellie Berge, Stephanie Ward, and Jessie Lee. Those are the swimmers from lanes 3 to 9, your left to right, depending on which camera you're looking at. If we're on that camera, then it's the top to the bottom. Lanes 3 through 9 have a swimmer in them. According to the seed times, look out for Kirsten Lee in lane 5 for Virginia Wesleyan, 2:11:35, and she's out front after 25, I beg your pardon. At the turn, it's Lee out front, 29:19 through 25 yards, followed by Williams and Lee, and then Emma Merrill, Ellie Berge, and Lauren Jones. That was a look at Leilani Williams, who was in a tight battle for second place. No one near Lee for Virginia Wesleyan. And we've got 4 swimmers tightly contesting that second spot. Right now it's Jessie Lee for Lynchburg, who touched the wall first. Last push here for Kirsten Lee, 1:38:02. The time for her, with 50 yards to go. Meanwhile, still a 4-headed monster vying for second place. Kind of breaking away is Lee and Berge. Lane 7 and 9. So Lee with the finish at first, a 2:12:63. Tight race, lane 7 and 9. Berge and Jessie Lee. And at the wall, it's Berge, Ellie Berge. 2:25:44, followed by a 2:25:92 for Jessie Lee. And then Emma Merrill in 4th, Leilani Williams from Sweet Briar in 5th. And 2 more swimmers remaining. Lauren Jones will touch the wall at 2:43:87 for the Vixens. And for the Marlins, they bookend the 200-yard freestyle. Stephanie Ward, your final finisher. And there's a look at Kirsten Lee. First place, 2:12:63. Not her best time this season, but good enough today. 200-yard freestyle next for the men. Just one heat, lanes 2 through 9. Patrick McNeely, Christian Riordan, James Baldwin, Eric Hope, A.J. Howard, Kanan Monteith, Parker Hands, and Andrew Rehack. Watch out for lanes 7 and 8. 2 lanes close to you. Hands and Monteith for Lynchburg. We'll see who's out front after 2 lengths of the pool. Looks like it's going to be Hands. No, Baldwin, James Baldwin from Southern Virginia, 25 flat through 50 yards. There in lane 4. Baldwin and Hands breaking away here in the 200. There's Baldwin going back. Hands catching up in lane 8. And it's Hands. 27:39 on that last run. He's out front with Baldwin in 2nd, Monteith in 3rd for the Hornets. Check out Parker Hands pulling away here. 150 yards in. It's still Hands who leads Baldwin. Parker Hands, a seed time that was not given. So looking for a best here. And a first place finish. Hands pushing. Here comes Baldwin in lane 4. Check it out. Photo finish. And it will be Hands 149.16 over the 149.37 of James Baldwin. What a finish between those two. And then coming in third, Kanan Monteith on your screen. 2 minutes and 0.03 seconds. Lynchburg, Southern Virginia. Lynchburg, 1, 2, 3. Eric Hope from Hampden-Sydney in 4th. Andrew Rehack out of Hampden-Sydney in 5th. Followed by A.J. Howard from Sydney. Patrick McNeely in 7th place. And finishing the event, Christian Riordan in 8th. What an excellent finish in the 200-yard freestyle. Gonna love that extra push at the end by Baldwin, but Hands just had enough of a lead on that last turn. A 149.16 to a 149.37. You thought that was fast, about to get even faster. 4 lengths of the pool. For the women's 100-yard backstroke. Just one heat here. Lynchburg in lanes 1 and 3. Virginia Wesleyan in 2 and 5. Southern Virginia in 4th and 8th, with Sweet Briar in lanes 6 and 7. Early on, at the turn, Claire Galloway in the lead, 31.63 through 50 yards. Emma Grace in 2nd place. Here's Galloway. No doubt about it, Claire Galloway. Touching the wall with a time of 105.62 for Galloway. A season best for her. And Emma Grace, 110.37. Lynchburg takes the top 2 spots. 3rd place, Amanda Waller out of Virginia Wesleyan with a nice 114.23. And a tight battle for 4th. It's going to be Sweet Briar, Nora Florio. And 5th spot, Southern Virginia's Eve Bonney. For Florio, that's a season best. She came in with a 138.08. Today, a 128.25. Another first place finish for Claire Galloway. And Lynchburg winning this one big right now in points on the men's and women's side. The women's just squeaked out a win at Emory and Henry, 112-87, thanks to victories in the final 5 events. But today they have established dominance early. Still a long way to go. Now ready for the men's 100-yard backstroke. 5 gentlemen in the pool. Lanes 3 through 7. Rehack, Strong, Steffen, Bennett, and Campbell. Hampden-Sydney, Virginia Wesleyan, Hampden-Sydney, Lynchburg, and Lynchburg. Good view in the middle. That's Zach Steffen from Hampden-Sydney. He's first with a 12.96 after the first link of the pool. Remember, they'll race 4 here. Coming on strong is Kevin Bennett in lane 6. Now he's first after the first lap. What a great turn, though, from Steffen. He pulls away again. And Steffen, 41.20. Bennett, 41.84. Here's the final push. Steffen pulling away. Check out the endurance by Steffen. Calmly touching the wall first. And Zach Steffen with the victory, 55.56. Kevin Bennett with a 56.49, followed by Tyler Strong from Virginia Wesleyan at 59.70. Kellen Campbell for Lynchburg, 59.74. And Andrew Rehak with a 106.81. Those are your first through fifth place finishes in the men's 100-yard backstroke. Preferably so we have all the swimmers. We have new swimmers today. We have new swimmers today, including this girl. It's her first time. No rest for the weary as we move on to heat 1 of 2 in the women's 100-yard breaststroke. Claire Evko back after an injury to both wrists for the Hornets, and she's out front early over Melissa Ward and Kara Young. 16.63. Coach was very excited about Evko's potential. And then just a freak accident led to both wrists being put into casts. And today she gets to show off her ability. Again, this is the first of 2 heats, so this heat is an exhibition heat. But for someone like Evko, it's fantastic for her to see where she measures up in competition. She's going to win this heat, no question about that. 19.26 on her last link of the pool. Coming to the finish, Claire Evko, 1:13.90. That is an absolutely excellent time for Evko. 1:13, folks. The seed times for Heat 2, which will be officially scored, no one's even close. 1:22.73 is the best seed time coming up in Heat 2. Evko just blew that out of the water. Don't pardon that analogy. It was meant to be here at the pool. Excellent run for Evko. Could not be happier about her performance. I think she'll be competing for the official score in the next meet.
And now the second heat of the women's 100-yard breaststroke.
Second heat ready to go. Women's 100-yard breaststroke. Lanes 2 through 9. Izzy Martinez, Elizabeth Martin, Peyton Murphy, Jessie Lee, Hayden Updike, and Blythe Hardy. Don't forget about Sue Akar down in lane 9. She will not be competing for points, but she will be competing against herself. Hayden Updike and Jessie Lee 1 and 2 after 25 yards. Coach Dunn talking about Hayden's progress this season. A member of the club swimming team the last 2 years. Getting a chance to do it at the varsity level and excelling at it. That's what's so great. It's not about just being on the team. It's about being good and helping yourself with your confidence by continuing to see those times drop and being put in more competitive positions. Updike doing that this year, and she's in the lead coming down to the last link here. Good battle. Updike. Peyton Murphy. And at the wall, it's going to be Murphy with a nice comeback finish for the Vixens. 120-41. Peyton Murphy, followed by Hayden Updike and Jessie Lee. And for Murphy, that's a new best. Her seed time. It's 123.53. Fast pull today, folks. Peyton Murphy, 120-41. Your winner in the women's 100-yard breaststroke. And we'll show the official list. You saw that. 1 through 7. There it is. And we continue to roll here. Really quickly, I do want to go back to that Evco run of the 113. Would have been best in that heat if she had competed for points by 7 seconds. So fantastic run for Claire Evco. All right, let's move on to the men's 100-yard breaststroke. 2 heats. This one is an exhibition heat. All 3 swimmers from Lynchburg. Brandon Godden, Jason Weed, Spencer Swam. Lanes 4 through 5. It's going to be Jason Weed with the first place finish in this exhibition, 107.68. And then followed by Spencer Swam and Brandon Godden. The 107 would be second according to seed times in this final heat of the men's 100-yard breaststroke. But again, today, a very fast pool at Liberty. Top facility in the country. Of course, we're just seeing a portion of the pool. They've got it separated into 2 pools. So they have a cool down area, and you also have the diving area as well. Heat 2 in the pool for the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Lanes 1 through 9, skipping lane 7, 8, and 9 are exhibition runs. So 1 through 6 is where your points will come from. Ryan Forsman in lane 1, Grant Morgan lane 2, Eric Hope in 3, Kyle Wolf in 4, Mason Swanner in 5, and Dane Warner in 6. Matthew Wood and Will Dryden in lanes 8 and 9 for Southern Virginia. And a big shout out to all of these guys' parents for easy names. Thank you very much. Mason Swanner for the Hornets out front. 48.02, and Swanner's going to win this one big. Swanner touches the wall, 105.67. Just shy of a season best for him. Dane Warner, Kyle Wolf, second and third. Grant Morgan out of Virginia Wesleyan in the fourth spot. Another victory for the Hornets today. Had an excellent afternoon in their namesake Invitational. Women's 200-yard butterfly. Cruising here from Liberty University. Just one heat and only 4 swimmers representing Sweet Briar and Lynchburg. Lanes 4, 5, 6, and 7. Leilani Williams, Hannah Hale, Dharma Keir, and Caitlin Freese. Freese and Williams, the first into the pool, 0.71. The best event to take photos for. They come up rising out of that pool, looking right at you, piercing through the camera lens. And putting those arms out wide. Something like that in the top right of your screen. Good battle between Hale and Freese from Lynchburg in lanes 5 and 7. Hale with a slight lead. Halfway through the 200-yard butterfly. And still Hale in front of Freese, followed by Williams and Keir. Hannah Hale pulling away. Seed time of 2:30.42. 30 seconds better than anyone else. (148.66) with 50 yards to go. I'm going to get it right at some point. I want to say meters. I want to assume that down and back is 100. No, it's 50. Down and back is 50 yards. I'm saying that as if you need to know that. You probably already do, but I need to remind myself out loud that that's the case. Here's Hannah Hale reaching for the wall, looking for a season best, 2:29.67. That will do it as well. Previous best was 2:30.42. So congratulations to Hannah. Caitlin Freese did not have a time, so anything is better than what she had previously. 2:42.15 in second place. And it looks like we'll have Dharma Keir in third, and Leilani Williams will finish in fourth place for the Vixens of Sweet Briar College. Keir comes in at 3 minutes, and Williams 3:05.46. Don't go anywhere. The men are ready to go. They are standing on the blocks, just waiting the ladies to get out of the pool. We have 5 contestants in the men's 200-yard butterfly, including Zach Bennett, Zach Steffen, who has won an event earlier today from Hampden-Sydney. Parker Hands, also a first-place finish earlier this afternoon. And A.J. Howard in lane 6 from Hampden-Sydney. And Colin Moore rounds out this group of 5 for the men's 200-yard butterfly. Great off the blocks for Hampden-Sydney's A.J. Howard and Zach Steffen. .66 from the time of the horn, if you will, into the pool. And they were out far as well once they got in. We'll see if they can hold that lead. Parker Hands in lane 5 right there in the middle. He's coming on strong after 25 yards, and through 50 he's in the lead, 27-86, followed by Steffen and Howard. Halfway through, Hands still out in front, followed by Steffen and Howard. Nothing's changed. 1, 2, and 3. Moore in lane 7 and 4th. Zach Bennett in 5th, swimming in lane 3. And Hands is crushing it right now. He did not win this event in their last meet. So he's going to win it today for his second first place finish. Excellent battle for third place. We'll get back to that in about 50 yards. Meanwhile, Hands going the opposite direction of everybody else. Parker Hands. Seed time of 2:01.96. Hands 2:03.03. Not a season best, but a first place finish nonetheless. Second place is going to be A.J. Howard for Hampden-Sydney. Tight race between Moore and Steffen for third place. Also, here comes Zach Bennett on the outside. Moore has the lead. He will finish third, followed by Steffen and Bennett. What a great finish for those young men. Bennett did not have a time, so his 2:29.90 will be seen as a positive. So there is your finishers in the list in which they did it. Hands, Howard, Moore, Steffen, and Bennett. In and out, in and out. Here we go. And you thought that was fast. Check this out. 2 links, that's all they get here. 50-yard freestyle event. Heat 1 of 2. This is an exhibition heat, but it'll be fast nonetheless. Check out lane 2. Alyssa Reed went to Club Swimming Nationals 2 seasons ago, and she will be the favorite going into this. First in the pool at .69 was Peyton Murphy in lane 7 for Sweet Briar. But first at the wall, it's Reed with 12.16, followed by Murphy. Here's Reed in lane 2, winning it going away. Peyton Murphy will be second. Reed's time, 25.11. Murphy comes in 28.58. Here's a scramble for third and fourth. Southern Virginia's got the lead by a cap, and they'll keep it. Izzy Martinez in third, Carly Tantlinger in fourth, Skylar Casito in fifth, Bailey Sutherland in sixth place. And just like that, the 50-yard freestyle is over. Heat 2 coming up. Eight swimmers in the pool. All of them have seed times according to the times. And look out for lanes 5 and 6, Corinne Ford and Abby Arthur for Lynchburg. .26.11 was the time for Reed. That would have been best according to the seed times. in the pool first. 0.71. Corinne Ford for Lynchburg in lane 5. At the wall, Ford still in the lead. Arthur in second, followed by Waite and Dewberry. Who will it be? Ford has just about a body length lead for first. Then it's going to be Arthur in second, Waite in third. Fourth is Dewberry. Hayden Updike for Lynchburg in fifth. And then it'll be Akar and Shaw. .26.09, best run in that event for anyone from Corinne Ford, and it also is a best for her. Had a 26.24 previously. A lot of personal records being broken today. And of course it stems from what Coach Dunn talked about, a really tough practice, a really intense practice week for them. Hardest they've worked all season long. They want this to be the meet in which they come in with career bests. All right, men's 50-yard freestyle, heat 1 of 2, exhibition heat here. But you've got 7 swimmers in the pool. Chris Richardson from Lynchburg touches the wall first, coming back for 25 more yards. Richardson there in lane 5, still with the lead. Tight one here for second place. Who's it going to be? Richardson touches first, followed by Matthew Wood. Then it's going to be Christian Riordan and Brandon Godden for Lynchburg, 1 through 4. Richardson with a 25.42. That's a new best for him. Previously 25.97. Richardson, Wood, Riordan, Godden, Norcross, Sylvia, and Cole. 1 through 7 in heat 1 of 2 for the men's 50-yard freestyle. Ben Hitter in lane 9 will be competing against time. But lanes 1 through 7 competing for points. Nick Benson, Caleb Royce, Brandon Koch, James Baldwin, Chris Jennings, and Matt Fields. 2 through 7. And it looks like we're missing a swimmer who's on the blocks in lane 1 up on the board. They should have Trezor Ortel on there too. He's not on the board, but he's in the pool. All 9 lanes filled up here. I beg your pardon, all but 1 on this 50-yard sprint. James Baldwin for Southern Virginia touches the wall first. Here they come. I can't tell. Can you? We'll look at the times for second. First is Baldwin. Second, Chris Jennings from Lynchburg. Third, Matt Fields for the Hornets. Fourth place, Brandon Koch. Excellent run, James Baldwin. 22.19, season best for him. Jennings also with a great run, not quite a season best, 22.72, second place finish. And Matt Fields, who traditionally is a sprinter, had a great run for second in the 1,000, comes in third place here in the 50-yard freestyle. 10-minute break here from Liberty University, the Lynchburg Invitational. The Hornets having an excellent day. We'll take a break and be back with more on LHSN.
thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Briar. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
This is.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what the school's really good at doing.
Okay. We're good.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Briar. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Welcome back to Liberty University, the home of Lynchburg swimming, and they're off to a great start today. We're in our first 10-minute break, and we're joined now by Coach Aaron Green, assistant coach here at the University of Lynchburg. Coach, right up there at that camera. Say hi to Mom.
Hi, how are you guys? Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Great to have you. Just a real quick background on yourself. I'd like for you to tell the people more about you, where you came from, what your specialty was when you were at Widener.
Okay, well, I just graduated in May 2019, but I swam 4 years at Wesleyan University up in Chester, Pennsylvania. When I was a swimmer, I swam sprint, mid-distance, and strokes. So I was a 50 freestyler, 100 freestyler, 100 backstroke, 100 butterfly. So pretty good in those events.
Yeah.
And sometimes go up to the 200 freestyle and 500 free.
You can tell people you're great. That's fine. I mean,
I'm not great.
I was great. I was the best.
I wasn't the best, but I was pretty good. I was pretty good, and definitely it's good being able to see these guys. Like we just finished up the 53. I always like watching that event.
Yeah.
It always gets the people in the stands hyped. It gets us pretty excited as well.
So for you, obviously, this is a little bit different being a coach as opposed to being a swimmer in the pool. What have you enjoyed the most about being on this side of the meets?
I was curious when I finished swimming. I was curious to see how I was going to like coaching. I always knew I wanted to coach when I finished, but I was curious to see how things were going to be different. And on this side, the thing I most enjoy is just seeing how excited they get after they go a best time or after they swim a really good race. Just to see their joy, it kind of reflects us too as coaches, because we, as a coach, you feel like you're part of that, so you can share that same excitement with them.
What's been the biggest surprise for you based on what you saw from the team early on, those early practices in the fall, and now here they are today having a lot of personal bests this afternoon?
So what's my biggest?
Yeah, when you came in, obviously you had some expectations of what they could do, but what's been the biggest surprise for you individually or as a team?
As a team. I would say as a team. That's my biggest surprise, especially for this season as a whole, just to see how well the team gets along. And like before we started today, we started a cheer, and our cheer was family. So just to see how well the team gets along, as being a first-year program, we brought in 35 kids, and just seeing that all different types of personalities, and for all of them to get along so well, it's really exciting to see as one of the coaches, and it just makes it a positive environment. And if they're swimming fast or not, just to know that the teammates have their back, I think that means a lot as a swimmer. So.
When you talk about new stuff, for you being a new person on the staff, you're also new to the area. What about Lynchburg have you enjoyed? Is it probably not the same as being at Widener and being close to Philly, but what about the Lynchburg area has been fun for you?
It's much different from Philly. It is much different from Philly. But I just like the environment. I like seeing the mountains. It's definitely a change being from Delaware. I don't really see a lot of mountains. It's really flat.
It's very flat.
It's very flat. So just seeing mountains, really friendly. Downtown is super nice. Everyone that I met, I haven't had like a mean encounter yet. But
that's good.
Yeah, in Philadelphia, I definitely had some. It wasn't the same there. So definitely friendly people in Virginia. Definitely working at the University of Lynchburg, all friendly staff. Nothing but great things to say about like working here at the University of Lynchburg.
Well, all good things for this area and for you. Thank you so much for your time. You did a great job, man.
Thank you. I definitely want to get back on here with you again, Joe.
Hey, we'll do it again. Awesome. No problem. Thanks a lot, Coach.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Have
for
a great
having
meet.
Me. Thank you.
All right, we move him off because we do have a start, or at least two swimmers up ready to start for our next event. Felt like I was racing the clock there for a minute. Coach Green had that intense personality, ready for every question, ready to go. And now we're ready to go. I'm glad that he said he wants to do it again. A lot of people get intimidated by the notion of being on the microphone and just knowing other people more than who's having that direct conversation can hear them. He did an excellent job. And, of course, that's a part of coaching that people don't always think about. They always want to talk about the day of the meet or the day of the game, but they don't always focus on the recruiting and going to meets of high schoolers and talking to parents and talking to the athletes themselves and bringing them on campus and showing them around and really making sure that they understand the best parts of what this program or what that program has to offer. And it's got to be great for Coach Dunn to have someone like Aaron Green helping them out in their first varsity season since 1974. Okay, back in the pool. And we've got the women's 100-yard freestyle. Sandholzer and Evco, Southern Virginia and Lynchburg. Evco had turned in that excellent time in her first race since injuring both wrists back in the 100-yard breaststroke. And so again, an exhibition run for her. But important to her and to the coaching staff to see what she does, how she performs in a competition format, and whether they want to put her in for points at the next meet. And great time for Claire Evco, 106.14. Sandholzer comes in at 111.67. And we are ready for Heat 2. All of these will count for points. Lanes 1 through 9 will be filled. Sue Akar in lane 1. Carly Tantlinger in 2. Emmy Waite in 4. Lizzie Ross in 5. Abby Arthur in 6. Olivia Coonan in 7. Lauren Jones in 8. And Bailey Sutherland in lane 9. According to the seed times, watch out for Lanes 5 and 6. Lizzie Ross for Virginia Wesleyan and Abby Arthur for Lynchburg. Both coming in under 1 minute. In the 100-yard freestyle. At the wall first, it will be Ross, followed by Arthur. So stat sheet holding true right now. Coonan and Waite in third and fourth. 25 yards to go. Lizzie Ross still out in front. Arthur trying to catch up. Ross, excellent speed coming from those legs. And it will be Ross touching the wall first, 58-17, followed by Arthur's 59-32. And Lauren Jones, oh, beg your pardon, he just moved it up. I saw 3 scores 3 times under a minute, but Jones was touching the wall for 75 yards, not 100 yet. So the 2 that came in with times under 1 minute do the same. Ross in first, Arthur in second. And for both ladies, those are season bests. Two heats for the men's 100-yard freestyle. The pool is going to be filled up considerably for an exhibition run. Matthew Wood, Zach Bennett, Joseph Sylvia, Patrick McNeely, Christian Riordan, and Grant Morgan are your swimmers for the first heat of the men's 100-yard freestyle. At the wall first, Zach Bennett for Lynchburg in lane 3, followed by Matthew Wood in lane 2 for the Knights of SVU. And through 50 yards, it's still Bennett out in front, closely followed by Wood. But if things hold true, it won't be enough. Bennett with that 3-second lead. Still holds it with 25 yards to go. Now it's out to a 4-second lead. And Zach Bennett is going to be your winner in Heat 1 of the men's 100-yard freestyle. 54-16 for Bennett. Followed by Matthew Wood of Southern Virginia in lane 2. And it's Patrick McNeely for Virginia Wesleyan and Grant Morgan also for the Marlins. Joseph Sylvia comes in to finish the men's 100-yard freestyle Heat 1. And bing, bang, boom, let's move on to Heat 2. All lanes but lane 7 open here are filled up. My goodness, I need to get better. I need to wake up, get some lunch, something. And I need an umbrella. That was a big splash from lane 1's Denver Norcross. Not as smooth as he would like, I'm sure. Brandon Koch from Hampden-Sydney first. Chris Jennings in second, followed by Parker Hands in third. Parker's going for the hat trick of victories here. 2 events so far, he's won both. 50 yards in, it's Chris Jennings at the turn. It's Jennings, then Koch, then Hands. 1, 2, 3. In lane 6, 5, and 4. 25 yards to go. Hands works his way back to first. Hands has been third and second. Now he is in first, trying to finish with a first place finish for the 3rd time today. Parker Hands at the wall, 3 for 3, followed by Jennings from Lynchburg in second, and then Brandon Koch from Hampden-Sydney in third. 50-84 for Parker Hands. That's a new personal best for him by a second. Then Jennings and Koch. Jennings with a 51.66. Not a new best, but good enough for second place. We did not get a time for Trezor Ortel. That's twice that Trezor has been on the blocks and hasn't been given a time on the official score sheet. So we'll see what that entails. Of course, we'll know for sure at the end of the meet. You can look at all the information for times on whichever team you support's website. We know, of course, of lynchburgsports.com. If you're a fan of the Knights, head over to athletics.svu.edu, VWUathletics.com for Virginia Wesleyan. Sweet Briar, pretty easy, VixenAthletics.com. And for the Tigers of Hampden-Sydney, HSC, Hampden-Sydney College, athletics.com. So head over there to find the official times of today's meet. The first Lynchburg Invitational. Women's 200-yard backstroke. Just one heat here. 7 swimmers in the pool. And waiting for the go-ahead. Now the swimmers are up on the board. And here we go. Lanes 2 through 8. Leilani Williams, Elizabeth Martin, Taylor Shaw, Molly Shand, Amanda Waller, Claire Galloway, and Eve Bonney. Sweet Briar, Sweet Briar, Sweet Briar, Lynchburg, Virginia Wesleyan, Lynchburg, and Southern Virginia. You always have to like Claire Galloway's chances in these moments. Molly Shand as well. They have proven to be dominating swimmers on the women's side for the Hornets. And Shand and Galloway are first and second after 50 yards. 32:07 for Shand, who has a seed time of 2:19.11. She was already able to best her 1,000-yard time earlier this afternoon. Freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia, still holding on to that lead. And barring anything crazy, Shand's going to take care of this one as well. 143.32, halfway in. Speed racer up there on the wall. It is really interesting down here on the pool side, looking up and watching Anthony McAvoy hustle back and forth for that camera. It's really interesting because he looks like he's going pretty fast, but the camera is pretty slow. You know who's not slow? Molly Shand, 2:18.64. And that's a new best for her by over a second. First place, followed by Claire Galloway in second place. Lynchburg takes the top 2 spots and yet another female-driven event. Third place, Amanda Waller for Virginia Wesleyan, 2:37.63, followed by Leilani Williams of Sweet Briar. And Sweet Briar is going to take 4th, 5th, and 6th, with Eve Bonney rounding out the 7. No, I beg your pardon, Sweet Briar still has 1 to go. So Taylor Shaw will be in 7th, Eve Bonney in 6th. There's Taylor Shaw for Sweet Briar. Shaw did not have a seed time, a freshman. Coming in to finish this one after another 1-2 finish for Lynchburg. Next up, the backstroke of the 200-yard variety for the men in the room. And Shaw finishing to end the 200-yard backstroke event. Led by Shand. All right, here are the men. 6 of them on the blocks for the 200-yard backstroke. Tate May in 2, Tyler Strong in 3, Anthony Vincent in 4, Kevin Bennett in 5, Kanan Monteith in 6, and Andrew Rehack in 8th. According to seed times, going to be a good one between Bennett, Monteith, and Vincent. Lanes 5, 6, and 4. Lynchburg, Hampden-Sydney. I guess it would be easier if I said 4, 5, and 6. Check out lane 4. Anthony Vincent, the last to come up. When he came up, he was 3/4 of the way, 3/4 of the way up the pool. Bad turn for Vincent, though. Look at the separation from Bennett and Monteith back to Vincent. He was ahead to the wall through 25 yards, and that turn really put him behind. And so Lynchburg has the advantage, at least right now. Of course, we're only 75 yards in. Monteith and Bennett, stroke for stroke, cap for cap. Bennett is a taller gentleman, so that may help him if it stays this close to the end. Third place right now in lane 3, Tyler Strong for Virginia Wesleyan. Fourth place is Vincent. Man, what a promising start on that first leg, and especially considering the times coming in. Vincent 2:04.95, which would be third best on the stat sheet. But right now it's Bennett and Monteith, 1 and 2 on the board. Bennett does have a 2:01.29 time for seeding purposes. And he makes that turn, coming back. See if he can improve on it. Should be able to crush it. Bennett, Monteith coming to the end. Bennett, 2:02.23. Monteith, 2:02.93, 1 and 2. And as I mentioned, a close one. But Bennett not able to get a new best. Neither is Monteith. Tyler Strong in third place, 2:08.67. That's a new personal best for the Marlin. Andrew Rehack from Hampden-Sydney in lane 8 and 4th. Anthony Vincent, 2:19.08. You wonder if that's just the bad first turn or might just be feeling under the weather, but either way, well below his seed time. And Lynchburg takes first and second in yet another event. We'll see Bennett later on in the 200-meter freestyle relay. .200-yard women's breaststroke. One final here, one heat. 7 swimmers in the pool. Lanes 2 through 8. Blythe Hardy, Nora Florio, Kara Young, Hayden Updike, Elizabeth Martin, Elizabeth Sanford, and Claire Evco. Evco getting a chance to put some points on the board for Lynchburg for the first time today, not in an exhibition heat. Down in the 8th lane. Lynchburg in great shape to come away victorious against all of these opponents today. Ten first place finishes. They have 9 second place finishes between the teams, relays, and individual events. Right now, I got to check out lane 8. Evco doing an excellent job. It's not even close. Evco dominating. She does not have a time. Again, first meet 1:18.06. Through 100 meters, 100 yards. Don't laugh at me, Josh. Director's smiling at me. Haha, you messed up again. You want to switch? That's what I thought. I'll push some buttons. It's just because they're not used to me making mistakes. That's what it is. Evco way out in front. She's got 25 yards to go. Oh no, I beg your pardon. She is done. I couldn't find her. 2:08.87 for Evco. Now wait a second. Okay, there's Evco. Apologies for that. Trying to look at the board and read it properly and then find the swimmer in the pool. Too many heads bobbing. Evco, though, finishing really strong. You can tell her stroke is picked up. She's trying to push as much water away as possible on this last 5-yard push. Evco comes in 2:42.69. And first place finish in her first home meet as a Hornet. Second place, Hayden Updike. 2:55.03 for Updike. That's a new best by a lot. Holy smokes, 4 seconds taken off her best time. Kara Young from Virginia Wesleyan, 3:09.03. That's a new best for her as well. I'm telling you, it might just look like water and a pool, but what they do here at Liberty University is incredible. And it's exactly why they are the top facility in the country for the care they put into the water, the way that it is filtered, just the way they take care of the building in general makes it an A+ facility. So the results on your screen: Evco, Updike, and Young, 1, 2, 3, followed by Emma Merrill, Elizabeth Martin, Elizabeth Sanford, Blythe Hardy, and Nora Florio, 1 through 8. Flipping the page to page 3. We have a page and a half to go. I think the crew just got really happy. One heat here for the men's 200-yard breaststroke. 6 swimmers in the pool. Lanes 3 through 8. Kyle Wolf from Virginia Wesleyan. Spencer Swam out of Lynchburg. Mason Swanner also from Lynchburg. Dane Warner from Hampden-Sydney. Will Dryden from Southern Virginia. And out of Hampden-Sydney again, Ryan Forsman in lane 8. According to the sheet on times that have been submitted, Mason Swanner has the top time, 2:25.24. Wolf and Forsman have not been given a time or submitted a time. At the wall, it is Swanner, 33-48 through 50 yards. Swanner still in the lead. Spencer Swam in second place. A red cap followed by a black cap. Another black cap of Hampden-Sydney's Dane Warner in third. Swanner, 50 yards to go. Again, that seed time, 2:25.24. Spencer Swam, 2:39.53. $50 yards left for Kyle Wolf in fourth place for Virginia Wesleyan. Trying to establish a new seed time for him. And here comes Swanner. Touching the wall, 2:29.60 for Swanner. And then it's Spencer Swam, 2:34.87. New best for Swam by 5 seconds. In third place, Dane Warner, 2:42.27. And then Kyle Wolf will finish in fourth with that 2:50.99. Followed by Will Dryden. And then Ryan Forsman will finish us out here in the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Bit of a long one coming up next, folks. Women's 500-yard freestyle. We, of course, are going to keep it here. Showcase what the ladies can do in the distance swimming. 8 swimmers will be in the pool from the schools of University of Lynchburg, Virginia Wesleyan, Sweet Briar, and Southern Virginia. So all of the female schools are represented in this 500-yard freestyle event. Sarah Austin from Lynchburg will be in lane 1. Taylor Morich of Virginia Wesleyan in 2. Lauren Jones out of Sweet Briar in 3. Olivia Coonan, also from Lynchburg, in 4. Kirsten Lee, Virginia Wesleyan Marlin, in lane 5, who has a victory today. Macy Waite from Southern Virginia in 6. Jessie Lee out of Lynchburg in 7. And Ellie Berge from Southern Virginia in lane 8. And there they go. 500 yards. Each length of the pool is 25 yards. So they'll have some assistance from teammates holding the paddles, telling them how many lengths they have gone. And I'm going to take a break, but we're going to keep it here and crank up the mic. Kirsten Lee out front for Virginia Wesleyan in this 500-yard freestyle event for the ladies. She's there in lane 5. Of course, sometimes it's hard to tell who's on which lap. But we now know that there's 50 yards left for Kirsten Lee. A 5:25.06 time for her at this juncture. Her season best is 6 minutes flat. Lee pushing strong. The other Lee, Jessie Lee in lane 7, also with a strong finish. Kirsten Lee, 5:58.68. That's a new best for her. Two seconds off her seed time today. And Sarah Austin, 6:12.52, second place finish, did not have a time before today. And you've got Olivia Coonan from Lynchburg, 6:21.10. Coonan, her best by 11 seconds. Man, things are being crushed today for all of these teams. Macy Waite there in 4th. Jessie Lee finishing in 5th, just edging out Ellie Berge from Southern Virginia. Taylor Moritz finishing up with a time of 7 minutes, 0.20 seconds. That's a new best for her, too. 4 seconds off her time. You know, growing up, I always thought when I heard people talk about fast greens on the golf course and fast pools, what do you mean fast? It's grass, it's turf, it's water. How can it be fast compared to another venue? And clearly today we are seeing that is a cliche that rings true. A lot of new bests taking place today for all schools, all programs. And again, we have to believe that it's because of their training, pushing hard for this meet, and the pool in which they're swimming in at Liberty University. Big shout out to assistant coach Donna Hodgert, who's the facilities manager here. She's the assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches for University of Lynchburg. Men's 500-yard freestyle event. Pat McNeely in lane 2 for Virginia Wesleyan. Jason Coveney for Hampden-Sydney in lane 3. Matt Fields from Lynchburg in 4. Also a Tiger in lane 5, Anthony Vinson. A Knight from Southern Virginia, James Baldwin in lane 6. Jackson Boyles for the Hornets in lane 7. Max Currens from Virginia Wesleyan in 8. And Nick Benson rounds us out here, 8 of the swimmers in the pool from Hampden-Sydney. And it's James Baldwin and Anthony Vinson, 1 and 2 after 50 yards. Once again, I'll step aside, finish my lunch, and be right back with the finish of the 500-yard freestyle for the men. Winding down the men's 500-yard freestyle. James Baldwin from SVU out in front. He gets the bell to signify he's got 50 yards to go. Second place, Matt Fields for Lynchburg. 2 long-distance events today. Or I should just say distance events, as opposed to sprints. Giving himself maximum pool time for his grandparents, who are in attendance for the first time this afternoon. And it's Baldwin finishing in first, 5:15.87. That's a best time for Baldwin by 15 seconds this year, by the way, according to the seed times. Matt Fields, second place, 5:24.37. It's a 10-second better time for Fields than previously. Third place, Anthony Vinson from Hampden-Sydney. Jackson Boyles from Lynchburg in fourth place. Max Currens out of Virginia Wesleyan in fifth. Jason Coveney in sixth. And still awaiting Patrick McNeely in lane 2. Baldwin with 2 victories today. And McNeely finishes the half marathon, if you will, at a time of 6:22.19. Next up, the women's 100-yard butterfly. 1 heat to mention, and 8 swimmers to introduce. Lanes 2 through 8 look like this. Caitlin Freese for Lynchburg in lane 2. I'll wait for them to get on the block so we see the rest of the list on the board. It's because on my sheet there wasn't enough space for Sandholzer's first name. I'm hoping it's up on the board. Still awaiting. There we go. No, it's not. So B. Sandholzer it is. Lizzie Ross, Alyssa Reed, Molly Shand, Elizabeth Sanford, Eve Bonney, and Skylar Casido are in the pool for the women's 100-yard butterfly. And I'm going to do my due diligence here. Get this right. Brooklyn Sandholzer, sophomore from Wellington, Florida. Thank you, SVU Athletics website. After 50 yards, it's Alyssa Reed for Lynchburg, 27:34. There's her time so far. She's turned in the best seed time in the pool with a minute .57 earlier this season. Still out front, second place right now is Molly Shand. Lynchburg goes for another 1-2 finish. This will unofficially, based on my memory, be their 4th such event on the men's and women's side. Reed comes in 59.15. That's a new best for Alyssa Reed, followed by Molly Shand's 103.45. Lizzie Ross from Virginia Wesleyan, 104.50. Caitlin Freese, 109.01 for the Hornets. Those are your 1st through 4th place finishers in the women's 100-yard butterfly. More records being broken today. Personal bests. And for a program like Lynchburg, who's been on a hiatus for 40-plus years, probably program bests as well. Finishing up is Eve Bonney for the Knights. Junior from La Plata, Maryland. Finishes, and the women's 100-yard butterfly is in the books. Again, Reed with the first place finish, followed by Shand, Ross, Priest, Sanford, and on down the list. Here's a look at your starters for the men's 100-yard butterfly. All 9 lanes will be filled up. Four lengths of the pool. Best time on the seed time sheet comes from lane 6, Jason Weeds, 56.19. And there we go. In the pool. Swimming hard, making waves, going fast. I'm living proof as to why food is important. I feel like a different person after some lunch. First place right now is Woody Parsons. He picked up a victory in the 1,000-yard event early on in the meet for Hampden-Sydney. Still first, followed closely by Jason Weed. Good battle in lanes 5 and 6. Woody's got almost a whole body length lead on Weed. Weed trying to close at the end. Weed pushing, but it's going to be Woody at the wall. Woody Parsons, 55.65, first place, followed by Jason Weeds, 56.40. And then Kellen Campbell from Lynchburg in lane 1, 58.59. Those are your top 3 for the men's 100-yard butterfly. And if I'm not mistaken, we're about to take a 10-minute break. Good crowd on hand for today's meet, and a reminder to connect with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Easy to do. Just look for Lynchburg Sports, and you'll find us. Recaps, videos, in-game updates, a great picture on Twitter right now from Emma Goforth, our excellent photographer. You can check that out as well. We'll step aside for a few moments. When we come back, Chris Jennings on the mic. It is a Lynchburg dominance in the pool at Liberty University in the first annual Lynchburg Invitational.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Ha-ha! Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
Welcome back to Liberty University, the home of Lynchburg swimming, and we are back with Chris Jennings, a swimmer and a men's lacrosse player at University of Lynchburg. Now, I have to ask you, Chris, why it's so important for you to be on the mic, because apparently you've been clamoring for this moment for a while. So what's your message, man? What do you want to tell people out there?
Well, last year I got to work behind the scenes at LHSN, and so this year I wanted the chance to come up onto the mic and get a chance to talk with you.
Okay, good deal. I like that reasoning behind that. Obviously, you've seen what goes into making one of these broadcasts, so it's pretty cool to have you now on the mic. I want to talk about the two-sport piece of this. Obviously, you're a part of the swimming program, first year in a long time. You're part of a men's lacrosse program that has been a long-time successful team. What have you been able to take from one to apply to the other, and really what it looks like to me, become one of the leaders on this swimming team?
As far as what I'm able to take from the lacrosse field and bring it to the pool is just sort of the work ethic that Coach Kadelka has installed in the entire team, and sort of the tradition and always doing the right things and always doing the little things, so that when it comes to big moments that we perform our best. And I feel like the swim team has really bought into that idea of doing the little things, whether it's at practice, before a race, in the classroom, and that's what's giving us the opportunity to be so successful as a first-year program.
Let's talk about the event today. Coach Dunn earlier on the broadcast talked about how you guys really pushed. This was one of your most grueling weeks of practice. Do you see the results that you expected from that grueling week? It's a lot of new best times that are being put on the board today.
Yeah, we've been definitely working hard throughout the week. This week, especially last night at practice, was probably our hardest Friday practice that we've had all year. And just getting a chance to come out here knowing that all this is just it's a practice of sprinting. And we get a lot of chance to have fun, and a lot of the swimmers are sort of grabbing it by the horns and going with it.
I think you can see there they're having a good time right now with the Cupid Shuffle. Let's go into your role. It's a brand new program. How are you guys able to find the leaders when you don't have seniors, you don't have juniors, things of that nature, a big class, to just automatically default, hey, these are definitely our leaders because they've been around for a while? Has there been a hierarchy at all, or is it really just all hands on deck, we all have the same role?
I would say it's definitely hands on deck, but there's definitely different times throughout, whether it's a practice or a meet, that everyone's there for each other. Sometimes some of the girls step up when the guys need help, and vice versa. And I think that's what makes this team really unique. It's one of the few teams on campus where the guys and girls train with each other every single day.
Right.
And we've definitely all become really close. And I would say at times there's leaders, and then at times it's just one big family.
Who has the harder training regimen, lacrosse or swimming?
Both are definitely unique in their own ways. Obviously, with lacrosse, you get beat by a stick, and physically that's very taxing. But with swimming, it's a lot of endurance and cardio where you're not supposed to breathe, and sometimes your body says, no, let me breathe.
Well, let's look at the mental toughness you need down the stretch now. Just a few events left in the day. You've been through the wars already this season with previous meets. What would you like to see based on the past that your team does today in these final this final stretch? The women finished really strong on Emory and Henry, coming back for that win. Do you expect more of the same here today?
Absolutely. I feel like this is definitely a team that when we get a lead or the opportunity to win a race, like if it's neck and neck, I'm definitely going to go with our guys and girls every time, because it's just sort of a fight that we have in ourselves.
All right, last thing I want to ask you is, when it comes to the pregame huddle up you're barking at your team, you're getting them excited. Is any of that planned previously, or is it just off the dome?
A lot of it's off the dome.
Okay.
I have to say.
Okay, we thought so, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Do you? I don't know. I mean, do you just take a temperature of the room? I mean, some people can't get up and do that, Chris. A lot of people can't just get up in front of the team and say, "All right, listen to me. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to get us started off on the right foot." How do you make sure that what your message is that day relates to that particular meet?
A lot of it is when I'm going to say the chant is how the week of practice has gone, how everyone's feeling that day. Obviously, today it's a little colder out, hard week of practice, but we're at home. Whereas our last meet when we were at Emory and Henry, a little warmer out, but we had to travel 3.5 hours.
Yeah, right.
It's just different to see how everyone's feeling on that given day.
Well, sir, I want to thank you for your time. You definitely crushed it here today, both in the pool and on the mic.
Thank you
so
very
much,
much,
Chris. Good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, much more from Liberty University.
Here's to life and here's to Lynchburg, to the years we spent together. I don't know when or how we gathered, but I know I'm home.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world.
All right, we are back with 4 events to go. We begin with the women's 200-yard IM, the individual medley. Lanes 2 through 8 are filled with swimmers. And first in the pool off the blocks was Alyssa Reed. She'll be the favorite in this race for Lynchburg. A 2:21.25. And after 50 yards, it is Reed, 28:39, followed by Emma Grace, and then Chloe Dewberry, Peyton Murphy, Hannah Hale, 1 through 5. Rolling right along, Alyssa Reed. What a great angle to see how much of a lead she has. This will really be a competition for second place. Reed touches a time of 1:04.78. Again, her seed time is 2:21.25. Chloe Dewberry has taken over second place by 0.4 of a second. So watch out, lanes 6 and 7. Now we've entered the breaststroke portion of the individual medley. Freestyle is all that's left for Alyssa Reed. Tight one here. Lanes 6 and 7. Emma Grace has a body length lead over Chloe Dewberry. Third place is close as well. Fourth place is close. Hannah Hale, Peyton Murphy for Lynchburg and Sweet Briar respectively. And here comes Alyssa Reed to the finish. Personal best this year was 2:21.25. And she'll touch the wall at 2:19.52. First place finish again for Alyssa Reed. Second place will be Emma Grace, 2:29.75, followed by Hannah Hale. So it's a podium sweep for Lynchburg. Reed, Spock, and Hale. And Chloe Dewberry for Virginia Wesleyan in fourth. Peyton Murphy out of Sweet Briar in fifth. And still awaiting the finish from Brooklyn Sandholzer. And I believe Dharma Kier, there's the final time. Dharma Kier coming in 2:49.73. New personal best for Emma Grace as well. 2:29.75 is better than her previous 2:30.92. Hard to beat that 1, 2, and 3 finish for the host school today. And Hannah Hale did it in comeback fashion. Dewberry, halfway through, was in second place. Here's the men's 200-yard individual medley. Lanes 2 through 8. I haven't said it, and I'm not going to say it. Maybe I will for the last event. Teaser. Ooh, what's he going to say? 2 through 9 lanes are filled in. They just put Chris Richardson's name up on the board for Lynchburg. He's in the 9th lane. Tate May in 2, Eric Hope in 3, Grant Morgan in 4, Zach Steffen in 5, Kellen Campbell in 6, Woody Parsons in 7, who's first right now after 50 yards, and then Jackson Boyles in the 8th spot. On to the backstroke. Close one here, Parsons and Campbell. Looks like actually that is Steffen in 5, beg your pardon. Zach Steffen in 5, Kellen Campbell in lane 6, and then Woody Parsons in lane 7, 1, 2, and 3 on the board. Steffen still has that lead. Looking for a victory today. He's been snubbed a couple times. He has the best seed time. Only 3 swimmers have times coming into this event. Steffen with a 2:10.16. Kellen Campbell in lane 6, 2:11.29. And Grant Morgan in lane 4 with 2:43.06. 25 yards. Trying to push on is Campbell. Needs to look to his right. Woody Parsons coming on strong for Hampden-Sydney. Steffen will get first, and Campbell will hold on for second. Parsons, a great sprint at the end. Third place finish for Woody Parsons. The Tigers take first and third. Lynchburg sandwiched in the middle with a 2:09.45 from Kellen Campbell. And for Campbell, that's a new best. Same goes for Steffen. Fourth place, Jackson Boyles. Fifth place, Eric Hope. Sixth is Tate May from SVU. Chris Richardson, 7th place for Lynchburg. And then Grant Morgan in the 8th spot. 2 events remaining, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We certainly would not do it if we didn't think that you cared. And of course that extends all the way to the swimmers and the coaching staff. You cannot believe how ecstatic Coach Dunn was this morning when I sent him a text and said, hey, we picked up another camera operator. I'll be able to commentate and you can get on the air during the 1,000 yard. You would have thought that he won the lottery. And that's a chance for him to tell you how great this program is and where it's going. And you can see it in the best way we know how, which is the best in Division III here in the US of A. All right, here we go. 4x1 freestyle for the ladies. All 9 lanes filled up here. Lynchburg's A team in lane 5, Virginia Wesleyan's A team in 6, Sweet Briar's A team in lane 4. So based on times, those will be the lanes that you look out for. 4, 5, and 6 in the middle of the pool. All freestyle strokes here. They'll swim 4 lengths of the pool. First place right now, Lynchburg's A squad in the 5th lane. Second place, Molly Shand and Lynchburg's B squad down in the 9th lane. At the turn, 25 yards to go. It's a battle between the 5th and 8th lane, 5th and 9th lane. Shand coming on strong, a finish here. I believe lane 9 is going to have the lead after the first swimmer. Yes, they are. First in is the next swimmer for the B squad, Hayden Updike. Lynchburg taking first, second, and Virginia Wesleyan in third. Lane 6 for the Marlins. Claire Evco down there up there, I should say, in lane 1. She's had a terrific first day back. A couple exhibition victories. A personal best in all 3 events that she's been a part of today. Check out lane 5 now. Claire Galloway giving that group the lead back for Lynchburg. Second place is Virginia Wesleyan's lane 6 with Lizzie Ross. Lynchburg's B squad dropped back to 3rd place, and then Sweet Briar's first team in 4th. Lane 1 in 5th place. At the turn in the lead, 3rd swimmer on the A team for Lynchburg, Abby Arthur. Virginia Wesleyan in that 6th lane, now in 2nd place. No question, Lynchburg is going to come away victorious today on both sides with their top finishes. Over 10 first place finishes today. And at least 9 second place spots as well. A lot of those were first and second place finishes for Lynchburg. So it's still lane 5. Corinne Ford in the pool for the Hornets. They have a sizable lead right now. $50 yards to go for Ford. 3:24.47, followed by Amanda Waller and Virginia Wesleyan at 3:31.04. So a 7-second differential between second and first place. Third place looks like it's still going to be lane 9. Yes, it is. 3:43.08. Fourth place there in lane 4 for Sweet Briar. 4th through 9th are really close. And you see Corinne Ford getting some high fives from her teammates as Lynchburg wins the 4x100 freestyle event for the ladies. followed by Virginia Wesleyan in second. Now a strong push here for fourth place. Southern Virginia with a great push at the end. Emmy Waite for the Knights gives them fourth. Lynchburg finishing in fifth there in lane 1. Third place was won by lane 9. 4 teams there for Lynchburg. And they take 4 of the 5 spots at the top. There's Emma Grace. Strong finish in lane 9. 33.64 for her. 4:16.72 overall. The A squad finished with a time of 3:55.42. And that is a new personal best as well for that team. One swimmer remains. Everyone will get behind Brooklyn Sandholzer from Southern Virginia as she comes back. 25 yards remaining, and then the men will get ready for the final event of the day. Sandholzer comes in and touches the wall. 5:44.17. For the Southern Virginia team. There's a look at the final laps, the final swimmers for each group and the team's times. We'll see if they put up a list of the teams in order, make it easier instead of having to jumble it around. But you know Lynchburg took first, Virginia Wesleyan in second, and Lynchburg in third, SVU in fourth. There you go. So the A squads for Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan 1 and 2. And Lynchburg's B team in third. All right, here we go. The final event of the first Lynchburg Invitational at the Liberty University Natatorium on LHSN. We are always experiencing difficulties, adverse situations, but we are thankful for our first go around that we had batteries that died. It told us to remember to bring chargers this time, but also the entire event has been run smoother than last time. We got off to a 30-minute late start the last time we were here because of technical issues. Today, no such thing. We started at 11, and we're going to end right about 2 p.m. Lanes 2 through 9 are filled up. You just saw the order on the screen. Lynchburg has 3 squads, Virginia Wesleyan with 2, Hampden-Sydney with 2 as well in lanes 4 and 5, and Southern Virginia with a lone team in lane 3. Right now, based on seed times, got to look out for that A team of Hampden-Sydney's in lane 5. A 3:16.68 is the best time on the sheet. You look at earlier results today. Don't count out Lynchburg's A squad in lane 6 with a 3:25.52. According to times on the sheet, it'll be a 3-way race in lanes 4, 5, and 6 between Hampden-Sydney's B and A squad and Lynchburg's A team. The officials have confirmed the results of the previous race. And they get ready to take their place. Big thank you to the crew today. Anthony McAvoy on the rolling camera up top. Olivia Herman down poolside. And Josh Conwell pushing all the right buttons today. I'm Joe Hutzler. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is a marathon of a week for us. It's fall tournament, team tournament season. Lynchburg Field Hockey hosting Shenandoah tonight at 6 p.m. for the Field Hockey Championship. Lynchburg Men's Soccer on the road at Hampden-Sydney for the Men's Soccer ODAC Championship. Men's basketball started last night on the road at Hood College in Frederick, Maryland. They've got another one today. Women's basketball starts their season at home tomorrow at 12 p.m. on on ESPN3, that's right, against Meredith College. ESPN3, still hard to fathom. University of Lynchburg on the worldwide leader, but it is true. So a busy week for the crew. And we're happy that we could bring this to you today. Quickly in the pool for the men's 4x100-yard freestyle event. First in the pool is Spencer Swam in lane 9 for Lynchburg. 25 yards in. Still pretty tight. Southern Virginia in lane 3. James Baldwin, he's got a victory today, and he's first to touch after 50 yards. Matt Fields there in lane 6 in second place. Brandon Koch for Hampden-Sydney in lane 5. Again, we mentioned on time, 4, 5, and 6 at the end of this. Should be the lanes that we're looking at. Excellent advantage for James Baldwin and SVU. A 4-second advantage between first and second place. Lynchburg catching up at this first turn. Tate May for SVU, then touched by Kevin Bennett. Just a 2-second differential between Lynchburg and SVU. Bennett with a strong third link of the pool. Turning now for the last 25. Check out lane 6, trying to outpace Tate May in lane 3. And Bennett's got the advantage. What a swim from Kevin Bennett. A full body length lead after Lynchburg was behind 3 seconds. Third place for Virginia Wesleyan in the seventh lane, I should say. Excellent swim for Kevin Bennett. Now in the pool, it's Chris Jennings for Lynchburg. We'll see if the mic time he had a few moments ago gives him a little extra. Lynchburg just in the lead. Second place now, lane 9 for Lynchburg. Kanan Monteith, a tremendous swim. Last man up on the blocks. Parker Hands is in for Lynchburg. They've got a sizable advantage after Kevin Bennett and Chris Jennings crushed their swims. Now they're up by 4 seconds. Hampden-Sydney in lane 5, second place. Lynchburg in lane 9, third place. 75 yards to go. Parker Hands, 2:58.39, second place. Still waiting that time. Holy smokes, what a jump there for Lynchburg. 3:07.65 for Hampden-Sydney in lane 5. Lynchburg was down by 3 seconds after the first swimmer. And look at him now. Hands leads this team as they finish with a time of 3:25.01. First place finish for Lynchburg. Who will be in second? Strong finish in the middle. It's going to be Woody Parsons and Hampden-Sydney in second. Lynchburg in third place with a 2:42.53 for Team C. A 3:25.01 for Lynchburg's A team is a new best for them. That swim for Hampden-Sydney well below their season best. Exclamated by that great swim from Kevin Bennett on the A squad for Lynchburg. They put him ahead after being down through the first swimmer. Then Chris Jennings keeping that same pace. And then Parker Hands doing what he does best, finishing strong. Lynchburg takes first place in the men's 4x100-yard freestyle relay. Finishing up here, Virginia Wesleyan. Patrick McNeely touches the wall, 4:50.04 for the Marlins. And that will conclude our events today. No doubt about the results. Lynchburg is going to win on both sides. We don't know the official scores, of course, but you can find them easily by logging into your favorite team's athletic site for Lynchburg fans. And of course, that's lynchburgsports.com. Happy day for Coach Dunn and the Hornets as they win the first Lynchburg Invitational. A lot of records personally broken and probably some program records as well. We'll leave all that stuff to Mark Robertson and the Sports Information Department. Again, you can find the official results on your team's athletic site. So, for the entire LHSN crew here today, Anthony McAvoy and Olivia Herman on the lens, behind the lens, Josh Conwell on the buttons, I'm Joe Hutzler saying thank you for tuning in to this LHSN production of the Lynchburg Invitational at Liberty University. And a quick reminder, it's a great day to be a Hornets, and we are one nation.